Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Darati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Pando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Haribo, Jai Shila Prabhupada. Okay, today we Hare Krishna Prabhu Tandat Pranam Jai Shila Prabhupada. So today we continue with birth of Lord Krishna. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his appearance, birth, and activities are all transcendental, and one who understands them factually becomes immediately eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. The Lord's appearance or birth is not like that of an ordinary man, who is forced to accept a material body according to his past deeds. The Lord's appearance is explained in the second chapter. He appears out of his own sweet pleasure. When the time was made sure for the appearance of the Lord, the constellations became very auspicious. The astrological influence of the star known as Rohini was also predominant because this star is considered to be very auspicious. Rohini is under the direct supervision of Brahma. According to the astrological conclusion, besides the proper situation of the stars, there are auspicious and inauspicious moments due to different situations on the different planetary systems. At the time of Krishna's birth, the planetary systems were automatically adjusted so that everything became auspicious. At that time, in all directions, east, west, south, north, everywhere, there was an atmosphere of peace and prosperity. There were auspicious stars visible in the sky, and on the surface, in all towns and villages, or pasturing grounds, and within the minds of everyone, there were signs of good fortune. The rivers were flowing full of waters, and lakes were beautifully decorated with lotus flowers. The forests were full with beautiful birds and peacocks. All the birds within the forest began to sing with sweet voices, and the peacocks began to dance along with their consorts. The wind blew very pleasantly, carrying the aroma of different flowers, and the sensation of bodily touch was very pleasing. At home, the Brahmanas, who were accustomed to offer sacrifices in the fire, found their homes very pleasant for offerings. Due to disturbances created by the demoniac kings, the sacrificial fire altar had been almost stopped in the house of Brahmanas, but now they could find the opportunity to start the fire peacefully. Being forbidden to offer sacrifices, the Brahmanas were very distressed in mind, intelligence, and activities. But just on the point of Krishna's appearance, automatically their minds became full of joy, because they could hear loud vibrations in the sky of transcendental sounds, proclaiming the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The denizens of the Gandharva and Kinnara planets began to sing, and the denizens of Siddhaloka and the planets of the Charanas began to offer prayers in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the heavenly planets, the angels, along with their wives, accompanied by the Apsaras, began to dance. The great sages and the demigods, being pleased, began to shower flowers. At the seashore, there was sound of mild waves, and about the sea there were clouds in the sky which began to thunder very pleasingly. When things were adjusted like this, Lord Vishnu, who is residing within the heart of every living entity, appeared in the darkness of night as the Supreme Person of Godhead before Devaki, who also appeared as one of the demigoddesses. The appearance of Lord Vishnu at that time could be compared with the full moon in the sky as it rises on the eastern horizon. The objection may be raised that since Lord Krishna appeared on the 8th day of the waning moon, there could be no rising of the full moon. In answer to this, it may be said that Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty, which is in the hierarchy of the moon. Therefore, although the moon was incomplete on that night, because of the Lord's appearance in the dynasty wherein the moon is himself the original person, the moon was in an overjoyous condition. So by the grace of Krishna, he could appear just as full moon. In an astronomical treatise by the name of Kamanikya, the constellations at the time of the appearance of Lord Krishna are very nicely described. It is confirmed that the child born at that auspicious moment was the Supreme Brahman, or the Absolute Truth. Vasudeva saw that wonderful child born as a baby, with 4 hands holding conch shell, club disc, and lotus flower, decorated with the marks of Srivatsa, wearing the jeweled necklace of Kaustuba stone, dressed in yellow silk, appearing dazzling like a bright blackish cloud, wearing a helmet bedecked with a Vaidurya stone, valuable bracelet, earrings, and similar other ornaments all over his body, and abundance of hair on his head. Due to the extraordinary features of the child, Vasudeva was struck with wonder. How could a newly born child be so decorated? He could therefore understand that Lord Krishna had now appeared, and he and he became overpowered by the occasion. Vasudeva very humbly wondered that although he was an ordinary living entity conditioned by material nature and was externally imprisoned by Kamsa, the all-pervading person of Godhead Vishnu or Krishna was appearing as a child in his home, exactly in his original position. No earthly child is born with 4 hands, decorated with ornaments and nice clothing, fully equipped with all the signs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Over and over again, Vasudev glanced at his child, and he considered how to celebrate this auspicious moment. Generally, when a male child is born, he thought, people observe the occasion with jubilant celebrations, and in my home, although I am imprisoned, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken birth. How many millions of times should I be prepared to observe this auspicious ceremony? When Vasudeva, who is called Anakadun Buddhi, Anakadundubi, Anakadundubi, was looking at his newborn baby, he was so happy that he wanted to give many thousands of cows in charity to the Brahmanas. According to the Vedic system, whenever there is an auspicious ceremony in the Kshatriya king's palace, the king gives many things in charity. Cows decorated with golden ornaments are delivered to the Brahmanas and sages. Vasudeva wanted to perform a charitable ceremony to celebrate Krishna's appearance, but because he was shackled within the walls of Kamsa's prison, this was not possible. Instead, within his mind, he gave thousands of cows to the Brahmanas. When Vasudeva was convinced that the newborn child was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, he bowed down with folded hands and began to offer him prayers. At that time, Vasudeva was in the transcendental position, and he became completely free from all fear of Kamsa. The newborn baby was also flushing his effulgence within the room in which he appeared. Vasudeva then began to offer his prayers. My dear Lord, I can understand who you are. You are the Supreme Person of Godhead, the super soul of all living entities, and the absolute truth. You have appeared in your own eternal form, which is directly perceived by us. Understand that because I am afraid of Kamsa. You have appeared just to deliver me from that fear. You do not belong to this material world. You are the same person who brings about a cosmic manifestation simply by glancing over material nature. One may argue that the Supreme Person of Godhead who creates the whole cosmic manifestation simply by his glance cannot come within the womb of Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. To eradicate this argument, Vasudeva said, My dear Lord, it is not a very wonderful thing that you appear within the womb of Devaki, because the creation was also made in that way. You were lying in the causal ocean as Mahavishnu, and by your breathing process, innumerable universes came into existence. Then you entered into each of the universes as Garbhodakasai Vishnu. Then you again expanded yourself as Kshirodakasai Vishnu and then entered into the hearts of all living entities and entered within the atoms. Therefore, your entrance in the womb of Devaki is understandable in the same way. You appear to have entered, but you are simultaneously all-pervading. We can understand your entrance and non-entrance from material examples. The total material energy remains intact even after being divided into 16 elements. The material body is nothing but the combination of the 5 gross elements, namely earth, water, fire, and air and ether. Whenever there is a material body, it appears that such elements are newly created, but actually the elements are always existing outside of the body. Similarly, although you appear as a child in the womb of Devaki, you are also existing outside. You are always in your abode, but still you can simultaneously expand yourself in the millions of forms. One has to understand your appearance with great intelligence, because the material energy is also emanating from you. You are the original source of the material energy, just as the sun is the source of the sunshine. The sunshine cannot cover the sun globe, nor can the material energy, being an emanation from you, cover you. You appear to be in the 3 modes of material nature, but actually the 3 modes of material nature cannot cover you. This is understood by the highly intellectual philosophers. In other words, although you appear to be within the material energy, you are never covered by it. We hear from the Vedic version that the Supreme Brahman exhibits his effulgence and therefore everything becomes illuminated. We can understand from Brahma Samhita that the Brahma Jyoti or the Brahman effulgence emanates from the body of the Supreme Lord, and from the Brahman effulgence all creations take place. It is further stated in the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord is also the support of the Brahman effulgence. Originally, he is the root cause of everything, but persons who are less intelligent think that when the Supreme Person of Godhead comes within this material world, he accepts the material qualities. Such conclusions are not very mature, but are made by the less intelligent. The Supreme Person of Godhead. Okay, Haribol, who wants to continue from this part? Hare Krishna, Asit Prabhu, Dandar Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Lebang.
Asit Prabhu, Devar, sorry. Lebon Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Asit
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna
can
Prabhu, this section I will be patience, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Time Prabhu, Hare Krishna Vivek Prabhu, Hare Krishna Devang Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay,
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna
can
Prabhu.
continue. Asit Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is directly and indirectly existing everywhere. He is outside this material creation and he is also within it. He is within this material creation not only as Garbhodakasai Vishnu, he is also within the atom. Existence is due to his presence. Nothing can be separated from his existence. In the Vedic injunction, we find that the Supreme Soul or the root cause of everything has to be searched out because nothing exists independent of the Supreme Soul. Therefore, the material manifestation is also a transformation of his potency. Both inert matter and the living force, soul, are emanations from him. Only the foolish conclude that when the Supreme Lord appears, he accepts the conditions of matter. Even if he appears to have accepted the material body, he is still not subjected to any material condition. Krishna has therefore appeared and defeated all imperfect conclusions about the appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My Lord, your appearance, existence, and disappearance are beyond the influence of the material qualities. Because your Lordship is the controller of everything and the resting place of the Supreme Brahman, there is nothing inconceivable or contradictory in you. As you have said, material nature works under your superintendence. It is just like government officers working under the orders of the chief executive. The influence of subordinate activities cannot affect you. The Supreme Brahman and all phenomena are existing within you, and all the activities of material nature are controlled by your Lordship. You are called Suklam or whiteness, is the symbolic representation of the absolute truth because it is unaffected by the material qualities. Lord Brahma is called Rakta or red because Brahma represents the quality of passion for creation. Darkness is entrusted to Lord Shiva because he annihilates the cosmos. The creation, annihilation, and maintenance of the cosmic manifestation is conducted by your potencies. Yet you are always unaffected by those qualities, as confirmed in the Vedas. Harirhi Nirgunaha Sakshat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always free from all material qualities. It is also said that the qualities of passion and ignorance are non-existent in the person of the Supreme Lord. My Lord, you are the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, the Supreme Great maintaining the order of this cosmic manifestation. In spite of your being the Supreme Controller, you have so kindly appeared in my home. The purpose of your appearance is to kill the followers of the demonic rulers of the world who are in the dress of royal princes but are actually demons. I am sure that you will kill all of them and their followers and soldiers. I understand that you have appeared to kill the uncivilized Kamsa and his followers, but knowing that you were to appear to kill him and his followers, he has already killed so many of your predecessors, elder brothers. Now he is simply awaiting the news of your birth. As soon as he hears about it, he will immediately appear with all kinds of weapons to kill you. After this prayer of Vasudeva Devaki, the mother of Krishna, offered her prayers. She was very frightened because of her brother's atrocities. Devaki said, my dear Lord, your eternal forms like Narayana, Lord Rama, Sesa, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Baladeva, the millions of similar incarnations emanating from Vishnu are described in the Vedic literature as original. You are original because all your forms as incarnations are outside of this material creation. Your form was existing before this cosmic manifestation was created. Your forms are eternal and all pervading. They are self effulgent, changeless, and uncontaminated by the material qualities. Such eternal forms are ever cognizant and full of bliss. They are situated in transcendental goodness and are always engaged in different pastimes. You are not limited to a particular form only. All such transcendental eternal forms are self sufficient. I can understand that you are the Supreme Lord Vishnu. After many millions of years when Lord Brahma comes to the end of his life, the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation take place. At that time, the five elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, enter into the Mahat Tattva. The Mahat Tattva again enters by the force of time into the non-manifested total material energy. The total material energy enters into the energetic pradhana, and the pradhana enters into you. Therefore, after the annihilation of the whole cosmic manifestation, you alone remain with your transcendental name, form, quality, and paraphernalia. My Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are the director of the unmanifested total energy and the unlimited ultimate reservoir of the material nature. My Lord, the whole cosmic manifestation is under the influence of time, beginning from the moment up to the duration of the year. All act under your direction. You are the original director of everything and the reservoir of all potent energies. Therefore, my Lord, I request you to save me from the cruel hands of the son of Ugrasena, Kansa. I am praying to your Lordship to please rescue me from this fearful condition because you are always ready to give protection to your servitors. The Lord has confirmed the statement in Bhagavad Gita by assuring Arjuna, you may declare to the world, my devotee shall never be vanquished. While thus praying to the Lord for rescue, Mother Devaki expressed her motherly affection. I understand that this transcendental form is generally perceived in meditation by the great sages, but I am still afraid because as soon as Kansa understands that you have appeared, he might harm you. He might harm you. So I request that for the time being, you become invisible to the material, to his material eyes. In other words, he requested the Lord to assume the form of an ordinary child. My only cause of fear from my brother Kamsa is due to your appearance. My Lord Madhusudana, Kamsa may know that you are already born. Therefore, I request you to conceal this four-armed form of your Lordship, with which holds the four symbol of Vishnu, namely the conch shell, the disc, the clove, and the lotus flower. My dear Lord, at the end of the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, you put the whole universe within your abdomen. Still, by your unalloyed mercy, you have appeared in my home. I am surprised that you imitate the activities of ordinary human being just to please your devotee. On hearing the prayers of Devaki, the Lord replied, my dear mother, in the millennium of Swayambhuva Manu, my father Vasudeva was living as one of the Prajapatis, and his name at that time was Sutapa. Vasudeva was living as one of the Prajapatis, and his name at that time was Sutapa, and you were his wife named Prishni. At that time, when Lord Brahma was desiring to increase the population, he requested you to generate offspring. You controlled your senses and performed severe austerities by practicing the breathing exercise of yoga system. Both you and your husband could tolerate all the influences of material laws and rainy season, the onslaught of the wind, this scorching heat of the sunshine. You also executed all religious principles. In this way, you were able to cleanse your heart and control the influence of material law. In executing your austerities, you used to eat only the leaves of the trees which fell to the ground. Then, with steady mind and controlled sex drive, you worshipped me, desiring some wonderful benediction from me. Both of you practiced severe austerities for 12,000 years. by the calculation of the demigods. During that time, your mind was always absorbed in me. When you were executing devotional service and always thinking of me within your heart, I was very much pleased with you. O sinless mother, your heart is therefore always pure. At that time also I appeared before you in this form just to fulfill your desire. And I asked you to ask whatever you desire. At that time, you wished to have me born as your son, although you saw me personally instead of asking for your complete liberation from the material bondage under the influence of my energy. You asked me to become your son. In other words, the Lord selected his mother and father, namely Prishni and Sutapa, specifically to appear in the material world. Whenever the Lord comes as a human being, he must have someone as a mother and father. So he selected Prishni and Sutapa perpetually as his mother and father. And on account of this body, both Prishni and Sutapa could not ask the Lord for liberation. Liberation is not so important as the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord could have awarded Krishna and Sutapa immediate liberation, but he preferred to keep them within this material world for his different appearances. As will be explained in the following verses. On receiving the benediction from the Lord to become his father and mother, both Krishna and Sutapa returned from the activities of austerities and lived as husband and wife in order, in order to beget a child who was the Supreme Lord himself. In due course of time, Krishna became pregnant and gave birth to the child. The Lord spoke to Devaki and Vasudeva. At that time, my name was Prishnigarva. In the next millennium, also you took part as Aditi and Kashyapa, and I became your child of the name Upendra. At that time, my form was just like a dwarf, and for this reason, I was known as Bamanadev. I gave you the benediction that I would take birth as your son 3 times. The first time I was known as Prishnigarva, born of Prishni and Sutapa. The next birth I was Upendra, born of Aditya and Kasyapa. And now for the third time I am born as Krishna. For you, Devaki and Vasudeva. I appeared in this Vishnu form just to convince you that I am the same Supreme Personality of Godhead again taken birth. I could have appeared just like an ordinary child, but in that way you would not believe that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, have taken birth in your home. My dear father and mother, you have therefore raised me many times as your child with great affection and love. And I am therefore very pleased and obliged to you. And I assure you that this time you shall go back to home, back to Godhead, on account of your perfection in your mission. I know you are very concerned about me and afraid of Kansa. Therefore, I ordered you to take me immediately to Gokula and replace me with the daughter who had just been born to Yashoda. Having spoken thus in the presence of his father and mother, the Lord turned himself into an ordinary child and remained silent. Being ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva attempted to take his son from the delivery room. And exactly at that time, a daughter was born of Nanda and Yashoda. She was Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Lord. By the influence of this internal potency, Yogamaya, all the residents of Kansas palace, especially the doorkeepers, were overwhelmed with a deep sleep, and all the palace doors opened, although they were barred and shackled with iron chains. The night was very dark, but as soon as the Vasudeva took Krishna on his lap and went out, he could see everything just as in the sunlight. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Krishna is just like sunshine, and wherever there is Krishna, the illusory energy which is compared to darkness cannot remain. When Vasudeva was carrying Krishna, the darkness of the night disappeared. All the prison doors automatically opened. At that time, at the same time, there was a thunder in the sky and severe rainfall. While Vasudeva was carrying his son Krishna in the falling rain, Lord Sesa, in the shape of a serpent, spread his hood over the head of Vasudeva so that he would not be hampered by the rainfall. Vasudeva came onto the bank of Yamuna and saw that the water of the Yamuna was roaring with waves and that the whole span was full of foam. Still, in that furious feature, the river gave passage to Vasudeva to cross just as the great Indian Ocean gave a path to Lord Rama when he was bridging over the gulf. In this way, Vasudeva crossed the river Yamuna. On the other side, he went to the palace of Nanda Maharaj situated in Gokula, where he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. He took the opportunity of silently entering into the house of Yashoda and without difficulty he replaced his son, taking away the baby girl newly born in the house of Yashoda. Then, after entering the house very silently and exchanging the boy with the girl, he again returned to the prison of Kansa and silently put the girl on the lap of the Devaki. He again clamped and shackles on himself so that Kansa could not recognize that so many things had happened. Mother Yashoda understood that the child was born of her, uh, that a child was born of her, but because she was very tired from the labor of childbirth, she was fast asleep. When she awoke, she could not remember whether she had given birth to a male or female child. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the third chapter of Krishna, birth of Lord Krishna.
Haribol. Thank you so
Hari
much.
Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. Jai Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
do you have any scriptures that you learned this weekend?
I read the Srimad Bhagavatam only.
Oh, yes.
Let's see the picture. Dear Mother Devaki, within your womb is the Supreme Person of Godhead. See here, Devaki is shining brilliantly.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore,
Prabhu,
yes, Prabhu.
I just wanted to ask you one thing. Like, are we allowed to actually eat boga?
No, Prabhu, we offer it, then we can take as prasadam.
Or like, yes, we offer it first and then we're gonna eat after, or we offer it to others?
No, we first offer it to Prabhupada and afterwards we can take. Then you can wash the plate that you offered with, then mix the food, mix the prasadam with the cooked whole preparation, and then wash the plate, and then you can take prasadam.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Therefore, I request you to conceal this four-armed form of your Lordship, which holds the four symbols of Vishnu.
I said, Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhu. Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I just wanted to know, I'm sure you've learned the whole PDF of slokas.
Bro, can you please again tell what you are telling?
Sorry?
Can you please again tell what you are telling? I can't understand.
Oh, I'm saying the Ishtagoshti PDF. I'm sure you are done with it by now. Because last time I checked, you're in chapter 4.
The sloka reciting.
Yes,
Oh,
bro.
this sloka.
Yes, bro. You are asking that I am in which chapter of Shloka recitation?
Oh,
Or
yes,
what,
yes.
bro?
Where are you?
Bro, I am in sixth chapter and end with sixth chapter. I will continue from seven.
Oh, okay. So once you are done, are you going to repeat again or you will be done reciting?
No, then there is
Bro,
something else. There comes some new
Oh,
book.
yes, bro.
okay.
Prabhupada will decide a new book.
Yes, yes, bro.
Oh, are you also attending the temple?
No, bro. We are not from temple. We are living in a room, in a rented room.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for Priyansh Prabhu and Smriti Prabhu and me. We are living in a
Oh,
rented room.
oh, are you far away from the temples, right?
Yes, bro. We are far away. The temple
Oh,
in
but are you,
Pondicherry, Chennai, but we are in Odisha, Bhubaneswar.
oh, okay.
It is a
So,
one
but
day. Yes, bro. It is a one day train journey to go there.
oh,
I came Pondicherry.
yes, okay. Have you ever visited one?
No, bro. We are going to visit. We are going in this Dasera, in this Durga Puja.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yes, bro. By the mercy, that time also Sundar Gopal Prabhu and Tattva Prabhu will be coming to the temple.
Oh, yes, I remember in October, ne?
Yes,
Yes,
that will
bro.
be really nice.
Yeah,
Yes, bro.
the energy there will be great.
Here is
Yes, bro. Our ice cream Pondicherry temple is almost completed. Just final slab is going to complete. So we'll have a
Oh,
very good opportunity to see the Sundar Gopal Prabhu, Tattva Prabhu, and also Prahlad Prabhu, and all other
oh,
sincere devotees, and also the temple construction.
oh,
Very good
yes, yes.
for us. Yes, bro.
very bold.
Oh, but are
When,
you,
Prabhu?
but are
When?
you planning, but are you
Yes, bro.
planning to live a temple life?
Yes, bro.
Are you planning on living a temple life, like going to the temple and initiating?
Prabhu, I don't know about initiation because I don't know. I am not thinking myself that I am qualified to become an initiated disciple of Prabhupada, but Prahlad Prabhu is saying us to become a full-time brahmachari with three of us because we three of
Oh,
us practicing Krishna consciousness since 1 or 2 years and chanting 16 round daily and eating Krishna Prasadam and doing Mangala Aarti or and Sandhya Aarti and doing preaching work like book distribution and online classes weekly. So Prabhu is telling us to join our brahmachari full time.
oh,
So we are
yes, yes.
trying to do that. So,
Okay, Prabhu.
yes, so
When coming, Prabhu? When? Sundar Gopal Prabhu coming?
yes, Prabhu.
When Sundar Gopal Prabhu is coming?
So Prahlad Prabhu was informed us that Sundar Gopal Prabhu will coming I think in the second week of the October. Yes, Swami Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mhm. Very, very good, Prabhu. Very good. Thank you so much. Didn't
So are you
hear.
going? Will you going there in October 2nd week to take association of Sundar Gopal Prabhu?
Yes, bro. I will go for 2 days or 1 day.
You
So,
go.
There you go. And I think that I know also Subham Barman Prabhu and Karti Prabhu will also coming. You are coming. We three are going. We will have a transcendental meeting there.
yes, bro. You also come.
Yes, bro. We three of us
Well, I-
coming.
So I think he's in a flight now. Is he going back to Pondicherry?
Yes, bro.
Is Subham Prabhu, is he going back to Pondicherry?
Yes, so again he's going back to Pondicherry. See, he's posted a photo with airplane that he's going to again Pondicherry
Oh, yes.
to
Okay, Prabhu.
take training.
To take
Training.
training.
Yes, so
Oh, so he's still going to go back home again after training.
no, he will be there to look after service, searching for a job, and will be joined as a full-time Grihastha there. Prabhu, he is telling that he will be Prabhu will be observing them for 1 year. Then he will decide whether he will be a Grihastha or something else.
Oh, I
He
thought
will,
actually it was you were told by the spiritual master what to be. I thought it was
yes,
like
so
that.
Prahlad Prabhu will observe him for 1 year. That he will be able to do full-time, he will be able to be a full-time grihastha or a brahmachari will
Okay.
say that. Yes, so he said this to Priyansh.
Okay, Prabhu. So are we done with the chapter, Semi Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Now read 6 Astakam prayers.
Yes, sir.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावादुजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पित नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशमिह जनिनानुरागः
Trinadapi sunichena taro api sahishnuna amanina manadena kritanya sadahari.
नदनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनीश्वरे भगवद्भक्तरेतुकी त्वयि
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितां मां विषमे भवां बुधौ कृपय तव पादपङ्कजास्तिदधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुचया पुलकैर्लिखितम् अपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति
Yugayitam nimishena chakshusha pravishayitam sunyayitam jagad sarvam govinda virahe name.
अष्टशवापादपुनस्ममः दर्शनान् महर्महतं सदातुलं पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सा एव न परः
Haribo, Sri Sikastakam Shri Jai. Oh, that's good. Glory to
The first,
yes,
the first
Prabhu.
offense. Are you going to the offense?
No, a first
Oh,
translation. Lord to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
oh, O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names. Like Krishna and Govinda, in these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One, the holy name of one should chant the holy name of the Lord in the humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of all prestige. It should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of God constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
Oh Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering it well. When to be 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all waking all new happens.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Hari
Hari Bol.
Jai.
Jai.
To bless him, the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the name of the Lord, to consider the name of the demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal or independent to the names of the Lord Vishnu.
To disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person.
To blaspheme. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version.
To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord.
To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name.
To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Vivek
Not-
10. Oh.
Yes, bro. Continue, you continue, bro.
You can go on.
Yes, bro, you continue.
Do not have complete faith on the holy name of the Lord. Even after understanding so many sorry. Do not have complete faith on the holy chanting of holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive with chanting. Every devotee who claims Vishnu must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success.
Vanchakripatabhyascha kripa sindhu bhayeva cha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo.
Namo Namah.
Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shra
Jai.
ki jai, Bhakti Vinod
Jai.
Thakur ki jai, Nitai Gaura
Jai.
Premanand ki Hari
Jai.
Bol.
Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.